What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Microtopia. Uh, Looks like we have a ton of stuff to do today, at least that I want to get done in the next episodes. Again, I don't know if we're ever going to get back to the point of playing this game, but I feel like one more quick, relatively quick refactor of this whole area to more line us up with where we want to be in the future is another step we're going to want to take to set ourselves up for success. And we did a good job of starting out here again, restarting and getting ourselves, factored nicely for, what we're trying to do on this outpost, I guess. Let's continue making some trails for our ants, elder trails, so they can get out of here and get repurposed into iron. And then we can use that iron to start making more of the digger ants. Yep. So I've been thinking about this game a lot. I really can't get it out of my mind. It's so good. But there's a lot of things that a lot of people do that I have never done, and they come up with some really interesting ideas, and I kind of want to incorporate them into some of my builds as well. They're just very awesome. So I'm gonna get working on those too. I don't know if we'll get them done today, because again we just have so much to do. It's like almost never ending. But at the same time, it's very fun to do this. It's one of the few games where it's actually a lot of fun to rebuild everything. I know some of those games it's such a challenge, like to tear things down and build them back up, even if you have infinite resources. It's just it's tedious beyond tedium. And this game, it is tedious, but to me it's not like that. I don't feel that sense of dread, I guess, when I have to redo the same thing that I've done probably 100 times. But I can see where it would get difficult for folks. I'm not saying that it isn't tedious or difficult, but I'm just saying that for me personally, it isn't too bad. So I'm taking full advantage of what we went over last time, which is how to do the counter end gates on all of my lines, so that we don't end up with someone walking over here that has an item on them. We want to avoid that as much as possible. Excuse me one moment. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay. So we need to do something like this. Here, this one is tricky. And this is where, planning things out on the grid is very nice, helpful. Otherwise you run into these situations. I mean, we could try and do this here. Sorry. Give ourselves a little bit of space. Like that. Just like that. There we go. Because we really do not. We'd rather them die over here than clog up the recycler. It's just, so annoying when you have so many dead ants right there. But there's one little ant is holding a piece of metal. It's like, oh my god, we want to try and avoid that. Okay, I really like our airports. Obviously, we got some work to do. And speaking of airports, there's one thing that I did want to do. I believe I can only do it here. Excuse me one moment. Still getting over some kind of cold or something? I don't know. It sucks. So, but we're gonna get to what I want to do on this. How did you not go through there? Tell me you go through there. He doesn't go through there. Huh. Now you go through there? Now you go through there. Okay, good. Like for instance here, we can do this. Something that I learned recently. Again, I don't know everything, but you know, I'm open to learning, and we'll do this for now because it's just going to be that much easier on my brain. And you know, they don't want to. It takes a while for them to walk all the way over there. I mean, this is a very long trail, and ultra long trails, for at least now, we want to avoid them. We want to avoid them as much as possible. And then now, if we do this, and send them over there, they'll just fly over there. And I don't know if they die in the sky. We're about to find out with this guy, but I don't know if they die in the sky. Oh, they die in the sky. There you go. So, but yeah, that will save us a bunch of time. And hopefully we get more fabric out of there, because eventually we want to use the recycled fabric to start building drones, because we're going to need fabric for other things that we need to build. So, take one last look at this beauty. Actually, let's get these guys fed. And then this is another thing I want to avoid, like having multiple of the second, obligatory wife text. Excuse me. I want to avoid having things like multiple of the inventor pedestals, because you know, if we can't figure it out in, you know, immediately, then we don't with one, you know what I mean, is what I'm trying to say. If we can't figure it out with one inventor pad, we're making probably too many for our purposes. So yeah, take one last look at this beauty, because she's gone. The only thing we're going to save is this. We don't want to get rid of that. But all of this is going to be gone and moved, I should say. And we're going to try and incorporate some new tech, the things that we've learned. I want to leave these. Okay, I'm happy with that. This may also leave. We don't need this guy's here. We're gonna move her. Okay, let's just delete that and move this thing out of the way. That guy can do his own thing here for a sec. Be king of the world, for all I care. Alright. Let's head there with that guy. We want to try not to lose it. And let's just delete everything, since we are gonna be moving it. We can rebuild it. Okay. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's move all of our stuff over to this side of the island, because we want to set up our main colony loop in such a way that we're walking, you know, in this area, so that we can send ants onto this island and send them back. Eventually that's going to be big for us, and we want to take advantage of that by not having the ants, you know, have to walk several minutes worth of distance to be able to walk onto that platform or onto those bridges, right? We want them to be used properly, effectively, efficiently, all that stuff. Okay. So let's just make sure all of our goods get onto the proper stockpiles. That guy looks like he's about to die. Yeah, these guys also can go away. Excuse me one moment. Man, such a bad illness. I don't get it. Okay. I'm also working on the audio settings, if you don't mind to let me know how those sound. I got some good feedback, and I'm grateful for that. Okay. This I feel like we can move up here. And let's get rid of this for now, just for now. Okay. Alright, so what are we trying to do now? Let's just get all these guys going in the correct place. Alright, so now we're going to free ourselves up. We want to be able to place the queen in a place that hold on. We want to be able to place the queen in an area that lets us be centralized. We aren't going to focus too much on breeding ants or birthing ants directly from her area. We want to focus really on the larva storage. And I'll tell you why. Because if we centralize the production but distribute the growth, it allows us to cover more of the island in the same hang on, wipe text. No, didn't hear anything. It allows us to cover more of the island with the same amount of population, right? As it stands right now, we have all of our population sort of here working on this one line, one trail, and that is not best for us, right? We want to be able to conquer all this island at a reasonable rate too, you know? So we want to avoid centralization like that in this particular instance. But so let's focus on doing that, and we got to get all of our ants out of the way. But we can probably draw a trail, and I'm thinking that the trail is going to be, that's too many blocks. The trail will be here. It's close enough to the flower patch that it, you know, we are able to take advantage of its nearness, I guess, is what I want to say. So let's do something like this. And also, let's combine them, right? Let's combine everything. Let's combine all these into one, I guess. One trail. Eliminate this weird duality we have going on with our trails, right? Excuse me one moment. Just make sure they're actually going to a trail, and try not to delete anything that has an ant walking towards it, such as here. Okay, so we're doing this one trail, and let's just go bananas, right? Let's try and force more of these things to spawn where we want them. And as we cover more of this island with tiles, that will become easier to do. Okay. So let's do something here so that we can maintain always people walking. And do we have enough to get what I want to get over here, maybe? maybe. Resin. Casing. Oh, not quite. We want to get these slingers here pretty quick. They'll really help us to with our resource collection, at least energy-wise. Because otherwise we have to do that weird, you know, carry trail and then, you know, make it go all over the place, and we can avoid that really. Let's get all the way in there. I can't really see what the hell's going on. Is the trail connected? Not quite. There it is. Okay. There we go. Just want to make sure that we're collecting from every flower, right? Otherwise, you know, what's the point? So let's do something here, and let's collect all these ants, place them on the trail. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna do a carry gate, and we are gonna go here, and you know, if they're carrying anything, they're gonna come in here. They're gonna drop off their goods. Now we can set up some kind of secondary storage, right, with our stockpile gates. Now if we do something like this, and we say, okay, if this stockpile has 391, or more than 391 in it, then we want you to come this way, and we want you to drop off on this next one, right? And this way, you know, we give ourselves a little bit less of a headache, or we are more time, I guess, to see when we're running out of storage. And let's see here. Now here, if you're carrying something, or if you're an elder, we want you to go out here, and we will do our trick with carry gates here. If you're carrying something, we want you to go back to the beginning. Yeah, back to the beginning here. And I could probably do that better because I just want them to like that. Perfect. And try and drop off again. We'll do a carry or a counter end gate immediately after. That's much nicer. Okay. Hang on a moment. Set up because you know, now we can do our carry gate, you know, madness within the forest. I guess you could call this a forest. And you know, it kind of serves a purpose, I guess. I mean, more of a purpose, really, because yeah, before it was kind of haphazard, and also, I guess what I'm trying to say is that this allows us to maintain our population in this trail, right? And only if they're carrying something do they go into this secondary part. And let's just see how that looks. And yes, it is all part of the game. So even the ones dropping off their goods are still considered part of that trail. All right, good. Yeah, I think maybe we'll do here, and that will be our last one. Yeah, I feel like, you know, these over here, maybe here after that one. That's good. Okay. I wish there was some kind of like X-ray view or some kind of like, you know, way to lower the stuff that's on the above the ground so that we could see our trails more accurately. But I understand. You know, there's a lot going on in this game, and you know what the devs managed to do with it is just it's pretty good. I'm grateful for what they've done. Okay. So on our main loop, what are we going to have? We are going to have the queen in a central location. We are going to make some small triangles. We only need 2. I guess we'll do it like this. For now. Okay, we only need 2 for now. But as we grow, we'll need more. And the only thing with this is that you need 2 separate entrances, right? And maybe if we move them closer. Might make more sense to us. To do it that way. But now we only need 1 individual ant in each of these. And we will place dispensers here. And what we can do is, let's see. Yeah, I think we need to change the direction of one of these. Gotta come in here and go like that. Yep. Okay, now we will go like this and head out. Sorry for that. On our next available space, we'll come down here. And what do we want to do now with the queen? Well, we found that we really like these larva storage. Excuse me, hang on. I'm just gonna have nothing but coughing on the episode. I already know it. It's gonna be hilarious and insufferable at the same time. Okay. So we want to get a couple more of these, and really ultimately what we only want is 1 of these for now. This one is going to be and I think we can take 1 more. Yep, and we have enough stuff. Good. Okay. So, what are we trying to do here? We would like to take a divider and say, you can go to one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could probably put 1 more stockpile and just leave it there for now. Put that back, I guess. Okay. And so you'll do this. Now let's take all of these living ants before we get lost. Put them on the line. Excuse me. What we're going to do with those inventor ants, I have not got a clue yet. But it's about time to build a Gine cocoon anyway, so we could get online with that. After we build our last bridge here. Sorry, one moment. Absolutely brutal, this cough. Okay. Let's continue work on our colony, and I did not start my alarm, my timer, and I did that, you know, not intentionally, but kind of intentionally, because I feel like this particular episode could be longer, and it wouldn't hurt, just per se. There's a lot going on, I mean, I guess. Okay, now what are we gonna do to get out? We'll do something like this, and then we'll go here. We'll go here. And if you're carrying something, you'll go down. If you're not carrying something, you can go whatever way you want. Just for aesthetics, I guess. Yeah, and then probably from here we'll do the exit gates. Alright, I like that. I like that single line out of there. Alright. So now we have it set up so that 1 in 5, or 20% of all... Oh, we didn't even set this up. I don't know which way I'll take, but I'm just doing it for symmetry. They'll take whatever way they want. Then it doesn't matter. I don't think. Okay, and how many do we want here? We want 2 for now. Excuse me, hang on. Constantly having to clear my throat. It's so annoying. All right. So now again, we'll have 1 in 5 ants that are born, or grow up to be on this colony loop, but that's okay, because if you look on here, we have 21 pod workers, which means we have enough workers to do, you know, any of the things that we need. Let's get that out of there. Get these out of here. Figure out what we're doing with those shortly. And yeah, we'll get rid of that guy. Oh, we'll get rid of this guy. And we will say that we want, you know, 10 in here at any given time. And we'll do something like this, I think, right here. And connect the trails like so. And again, this is temporary. Anything that's not on a... anything that's not connected to a tile is not destined for this world. Alright, let's clean up the graveyard. But we are going to have to, you know, maintain it over here because, I mean, we can fly the ants to the graveyard. You know, it's not a big deal. Or to the airport. We don't have to specifically walk them there. We're trying to think in a new way, especially with these ants. You know, utilize their full capabilities, I guess I'm trying to say. Let's get this going for a second. I just want to let all the old ants get renewed and see how we do there with that. Yeah. Make another one of these. I really like that now they'll fly to the recycler. I think that's pretty neat. Get rid of that. Okay. Wow. We were making ends pretty quick, huh? We'll take these two, and we will put them over here. And, okay. So now what are we going to do with these other pods? Let's just get these guys going again. Sorry. You all come off of here. Come on there. Alright, we're probably going to lose some ants in this process, but we may not. Just depends on how quickly we can get it done. Alright, the graveyard is essentially empty. We have one more. 1 second to get it on there. Get up on there, bud. Okay, perfect. Alright, now we are on the clock, though. And let's move these out of the way because I want the graveyard to be down here. In fact, let's move them up here. So, what is the first thing we want to do with our graveyard? Let's actually erase all of this. You know, excellent work we've done, but no, that doesn't belong there. There we go. I like that. Okay. So the graveyard's main purpose is going to be set up the pod workers, right? So let's have our okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting what I want to do here. Let's have everything come in here into a loop, and from there we'll split off. We'll say if you're not, we'll use a cast gate. From here we'll say if you are not a small ant, leave this area, right? And this can be, you know, yeah, we gotta get these ants out of the way. Damn. Set them in the center. Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Okay. Another wife text. Always answer your wife texts. Always answer your husband's texts. Just a polite thing to do. Alright, so the ants are walking in this way. We should really have them walking in this way. But then if we do that, that means we'll have to put the cast gate on the other side, which is fine. Small ants, you are not. Goodbye. And head this way. Okay, so now only small ants will enter this loop. The first thing that we want from them is we want a timer gate set to, I don't know, 5 minutes, and we are going to have that be for our pod worker assembly. Just like that. And we'll make sure that it's actually attached. There we go. And now what is this one going to do? We're going to have... yep, perfect. We're going to have like so. Not like that. Yellow comes out there. Yes, okay, good. We're going to have this one go like that. And now, on maybe this line, we can say, if you are a pod worker, empty, go there. And we'll do in here, If you are a pod worker, you may go in here. And if you are a not empty pod worker, you can go in there. And what we'll do here is we'll do another cascade that leads to this one. And it says that if you are a full pod worker, go in there. And then what that will do is that will send the pod workers over here. And if they have energy in them, fine. They'll circle here until they don't. When they don't have energy, then they'll end up here. What's wrong here? You don't have any light bulbs? You have tons of light bulbs. Where's your assigned target is changed? Okay. Perfect. Now, after you have a light bulb on you, you will get inundated with energy, and you will enter the this colony loop here. How far away are we from ironworkers? We have unlocked ironworkers. Okay. That's going to change a lot because how many iron? We have 285. Perfect. Now, instead of using, instead of combining 2 ants to create a large worker, we're still going to need them, okay? But we are making our attempt to not have to use them, I guess. At least for, doing some things. Because again, we don't need too much, especially since we aren't going to centralize. But, this will save us in the long run. They're essentially free. Yeah. So, let's send them here. Because we are still also going to get small ants, right? And this will have to change to drone alt. And I'll explain why. Excuse me, hang on. Alright. Yeah, I'm just looking at this. I'm just, trying to see how things work. And we might end up putting this here, but, we'll see. Okay. This is small diggers. Perfect. So we have small digger ants, and we can put that here. Okay. And we want these on timers. This one needs 2 more plates. We can get rid of plates. We can get rid of plates. Let's do like that. Like that. Yeah. Okay, and with the diggers, once we get them out, we will send them out this way into their track. But this is more a centralized position, right? We have, once we get all this outlying stuff out of the way, then we will be able to focus on this, and that's really what we want. And eventually the digger line will be gone. We won't have very much stuff left to mine. But we're setting ourselves up for the future right here. As we work our way through the rubble. And maybe we should go up and out a little bit because we do need to save some of this room for actual work that we're doing. That's quite a long track. I don't like it, but it's not forever, right? It's not forever. We gotta keep reminding ourselves that it's not forever. Eventually we're gonna be down here doing all this. It's quite a lot still. I mean, we end up with so much iron. We're gonna be in it to win it. What are we? Here we're doing Right, assemble iron workers. And if you notice, that takes one iron block, which I believe we have some kind of deep storage for. There it is. Place that here. And let's say for the... Excuse me, hang on. Let's say for the diggers, we want them to be every 30 seconds. And for the iron workers, we want them to be every 25 seconds. If you notice, I placed the longer... Oh no, it should be the other way, right? Damn, hang on. Sorry, I'm back. Okay. Hang on, I'm so sorry. Alright. I'm realizing what we can do, and we can delete this, because we can put that anywhere now, right? We could have this be a we could have this be somewhere that they land, you know, fresh out of the bakery. You know what I'm saying? Then it's truly an airport, right? Things only land and take off from there. And I think that's pretty neat. So if that is the case, excuse me, then we can do here, and anything that is not a pod worker then is going to come this way and go to one of these. Oh, I'm so sorry, that's terrible. Couldn't help it there. It caught me off guard. Okay. We aren't leaving ourselves too much room, but we got plenty of space. We could probably put this in here, you know, especially with how, in fact, that's a great idea. Put this here, and you can go here. Yeah, let's zoom in. You can go here. And this can then make its way back down. But not there. Can't do it there. We cannot do it there. We can do this. And maybe something like that. Like that. Yeah, like that. Right there. Looks good. And from here, we can do the same thing. We just got to move this over here. Maybe like that. And then just send it up there, like so. And I'm realizing now that we need something like this here. Something like, well, let's actually do it like this, huh? There we go. And I'm not sure why I leave this much space, but, you know, just I want to be able to see more clearly what's going on. And we aren't hurting for space yet, so I figure, you know, it isn't super important then to, you know, worry about. Still trying to have fun, too, you know. Something like that. Okay. I'm so sorry. Alright. I'm really trying not to let that happen, but it's hard. Okay. So now with the iron workers, let's get them on the line too. Yeah, I like this little setup. Now, what can we do to, let's say, you know, work this this bit of flowers? And you go here, you can help with that. Well, we can really, we can set up a dispenser from, say, one of these. That's, you know, not tied to the airport. And place it out here somewhere. You know, it's close by. And let's see what we can do here. Something like that, maybe? I don't know why that highlighted there. It's kind of funny. All right. Maybe put them in between there like that. Might be better. Maybe do something like this. And like that. There we go. Hang on one moment, I'm so sorry. Okay. I think we're nearing the end of this episode. It's gone on long enough, but we have got a lot done in terms of how... let's just do drone for now because I'll explain why. We still have a bunch of regular workers. We don't have any iron workers, and we don't want to mess that up. In the next episode, we'll get back to doing our production lines, and we'll utilize this up here with these to make a separate expansion, you know, on the same island. I feel like if I had figured that out sooner, we could have exploited this entire island much easier. And I'm just gonna leave this over here because eventually we're gonna put our sentinel boys to work over there. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you watched this whole thing, I hope you learned a little bit, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.